they have confirmed that a 37-year-old man of Afghan origin has been charged tonight with her murder.
Appears to have been an asylum seeker who was severely tortured in his home country. He's been treated for psychological illness, spent his whole time reading extremist websites.
Sampson's gone up to Hull to take flowers to the spot where the body was found.
Oh, that's beautiful. First they provoke the conditions that caused the tragedy, and then go and shed crocodile tears at the scene of the crime.
We hear a lot of talk these days about rights, particularly the rights of asylum seekers and terrorists. But didn't Melanie Roberts have rights as well? Didn't Melanie Roberts have the right to play outside her own home without having her throat cut? Now, to the sneering elites, people around here are white trash, inbreds, rednecks, only good for creating the wealth of the country and sending their sons to fight in foreign wars. They love asylum seekers in Islington because they make good cleaning ladies and they don't have to live next to them. Now, you'll know I've resigned my seat in Parliament to fight again for the British way. And when we win, it won't be a victory for me, but for all the decent folk who mourned here today, for the memory of Melanie Roberts, murdered by a man who had no business being here in the first place.
Absolutely bloody lamentable, Harry.
It just complicates things a little.
I'm not sure you can keep control of this tiger that you're currently riding.
You never used to lose your nerve so easily.
The British way haven't got anybody else with Sampson's charisma. It'd be very unfortunate if anything happened to him.
No.
We could make it a white left-wing extremist.
Things are bad enough right now, Juliet. Doing what you're suggesting would be like throwing petrol on the flames.
Short-term chaos for long-term stability.
Let me deal with this my way.
If Sampson wins his seat for the British way, it'll change everything.
They have to be seen to destroy themselves. Everything else is going according to plan.
Where's the fall you promised me?
Dealing with Sampson in the way you're suggesting is not an option.
I'm sorry. If I float an idea, by definition, it is an option. You're just telling me you think it's a bad one.
I'm telling you it's not the best one.
Okay. But if you mess this up, you're on your own.
Could I have that in writing?
There have been further violent clashes in response to the death of Melanie Roberts. News is coming in from Cardiff of an Iraqi man who's been beaten to death by a furious crowd.
The victim, who'd been tortured in the jails of Saddam Hussein, was married with 3 children.
Tell that to the family of Melanie Roberts.
The police have expressed concern at the cycle of revenge attacks and are urging people to stay calm. You're watching Sky News live at 5. Still
Let's
to come
go.
this evening.
Where to?
Come on, we're not missing out on this. We're going hunting.
We're supposed to avoid violence during the election.
We got a surprise pass for the weekend.
What are you doing? Boss, he's trying to use his mobile.
So? Thought you might like a photo. Souvenir.
Shut up, Brian.
Let me do it.
What?
Let me.
No, another time.
Come on, for all those years I spent inside.
No.
Wait. They killed one of our kids. Let's do one of theirs. Well, you haven't got the bottle? Have you?
Come on, hurry up, we're exposed here.
you think I would have missed if you hadn't moved?
Oh, I never.
Give me another bolt.
Never mind.
Give me another
Bring the
bolt.
guy, forget the kid, let's move it. And you introduced me to that cousin of yours, or so help me, I'll go and find her myself.
I think given the choice, most people would prefer a crossbow bolt in the leg to the head.
But couldn't you...
Missed him altogether. I saved his life. If my cover gets blown now, we lose this op. And people will die.
Okay, what do you want me to do?
It's time for the cousin. She can be so outraged by the death of the child that she's decided to come forward. Fiona must bait the trap, now.
The donation's secure. £500,000.
Excellent.
There is a condition.
Which is?
Several of us want Moran and his men out of the party. Too many negative associations.
Yes, but Moran is part of the old guard. He commands huge support, very difficult to remove.
Some MPs are still undecided.
Make Perry your number 2.
Well, give me time. Might be better to do it after the election. For a start, we can't alienate the rank and file when there's canvassing to be done.
Well, he has a point. Moran's men may be a bunch of inbreds, but somebody has to slog around those god-awful council estates.
But you can give me your undertaking that after the by-election you'll expel Moran and his supporters and make Perry your deputy.
It's a done deal. We have to admit that it is impeccable timing.
What is?
Well, asylum seeker murders photogenic little white girl. Come on, don't tell me you didn't raise a small cheer inside.
Let's take a look at the latest poll, shall we?
Nice here.
Well, nowhere's safe. Just look at that poor little girl. That Cheltenham's not like London. Don't get your handbag stolen by drug addicts.
You mean niggers?
I don't like that kind of language. If you're going to talk like that, then I'm not speaking to you anymore.
Leslie.
No. Luke, I've said this to you before. Not all coloured people are bad.
Then what are you doing here, then? I thought you agreed with us.
I support the British way because we're only a little island and we can't take any more immigrants. I'm not a racialist, though, and I don't like bad language.
Oh, come on, Leslie. We've come all this way. My mum was really pleased. And look, we've got some photos of when we've done a barbecue. Look.
Henry and Gavin arguing over the barbecue as usual.
Luke says that you work for the government. That they passed you over for promotion in favour of her.
I just want what's fair, that's all. The Asian girl had only worked there a few months. I've been working on that section for 15 years, not a day off sick. Well, once. When I got back from Menorca and I'd eaten a big paella the night before getting on the plane. God, sick. Should have had the bloody omelette. My husband John had the omelette. He was fit as a fiddle.
Tell them what you've been working on, Les.
OK. Well, my section has been tasked. That's what we call it in my line of work, to monitor certain organisations.
Right.